Hey there, beautiful people. It's Deena, bringing your daily dose. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about freedom and what that really means, what our true freedom really is. I wanted to just elaborate on that a little bit because there are times that, I don't know if you think this way, but I feel like, why do some people seem to get through life without having to go through any difficult things? And when I mean difficult things, and we all go through struggles in life, but I'm saying some people really seem to have a harder life than others. Especially if you are a Christ follower and you are doing things that you know that are right, but yet you still seem to get handed difficult circumstances. It can start to feel like it's unfair. You can look, across at your neighbor or even a family member and think, why does it seem like their life is just fine? They don't seem to struggle with any really deep problems. Their marriage seems to be okay. They seem to be financially stable. They got a beautiful house. They're out on the boat, on the water, on the 4th of July. And so we can look at that and think, this doesn't seem fair. God, I'm serving you. I'm doing everything that you asked me to do. I've given you my heart. I have given you my life. I've surrendered in obedience. Why do I not get to have that? I find myself in that place a lot of times because my life has been very challenging. There's been a lot of things. And I'm not saying other people don't go through what I've gone through, but I'm just saying that some people, it seems like, they just go through life and everything seems fine. They arrive at death safely and everything was good. There was no major upset in their life. Now, honestly, we really don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And you can look at a picture of a family and you can look at them and say, oh, that's a nice family. They look really happy, but you don't know if the husband and wife are fighting. You don't know if their child is struggling with addiction. You don't know if they financially, it looks like on the outside that they've got everything together, but they are stuff poor. They have all kinds of stuff, but they barely are making ends meet. We don't know if somebody in that picture is struggling with an illness. Maybe they're just struggling within their own mind of who they are and is this all that life has to offer? Maybe they're just pretending behind the mask that everything's okay. I don't know. I just know that sometimes families or certain people, they just seem to get out of all the difficult things. And I never understand why God allows certain people to go through hard things and other people not. But I do believe that he will use whatever it takes if we're willing. So I think there's the caveat here. If we're willing and we are seeking him and we're making him our priority, then yes, he is going to pull out everything that will stop us from experiencing his full peace and joy and freedom, which is what we were talking about yesterday. So maybe people that have everything that looks like they have the good life, maybe that's all they're actually ever going to get. Maybe that on the surface level, it looks like they have it all, but in the deeper level of who we are as human beings, they don't really have what God offers us, because what he offers us is not in this world. If you're looking at something in this world as the measuring stick on whether you have true significance or happiness or even wealth, then we're looking from the wrong lens. Jesus came to show us that there is a kingdom. This is not it. What we're living in now is not it. This is a temporary place. So if that life that looks so pleasing from the outside is the only thing you've got, then maybe they really aren't in freedom. But if your hopes are and your efforts are and your obedience and surrender is in this other kingdom that Jesus came to show us and to make a way for us, then that's where true freedom lies. So I don't know why some people get out of this life without ever having a tragedy or ever having a difficult marriage or struggling financially or whatever it is. I do know that we can't really truly see inside of someone's life. We don't really know what their heart is. And even on the outside, I think human beings are really good at hiding what is really going on. I just know that without God, there's really no peace and joy, and you have to keep striving for more stuff. So temporarily, it can make you feel good. If you're the kind of people that love to have parties all the time, maybe that's what you need to do in order to keep that peace and contentment. Maybe you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts, and you have to distract yourself so much with fun and activities, because if you stop doing that, then you're faced with the reality of who you truly are, and maybe that doesn't match up with what you want. I don't know. This is just thoughts to ponder today. I don't really know if this is much encouragement as much as it is thoughts to ponder. And this is something that God has had to walk me through. A lot of times I'm like, why does this person not have this? Why, and then again, sometimes it's like, why did I get it all? I'm like, why did I have all the different situations that I've had, where some people might not even get one of those in their lifetime, and I've had a lot of them in my life. But the other thing that I look at is that it drew me close to God, and I don't care what other people have or don't have. You can't take that away from me. There is a knowing of who you are and who God is, that no matter what the circumstance that you go through, that you're going to be okay. There isn't any worldly thing, no amount of parties, no amount of stuff that's going to take that away. There is such an unbelievable peace that surpasses all understanding in a difficult situation when you are following God. I don't know if those people that are going through the good life scenario, if something bad were to happen, would they be strong enough to handle it? I don't know. But anyway, I just know that each person's journey is different. And it's not none of our business actually why they're getting to go through life without having a whole lot of trials. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of their life, or what they're going to have to make an account for, or whether they even believe in a kingdom beyond this. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to find all their happiness and fun and excitement on this life, on this side of heaven. I just know that for me, I know there's got to be more. There's got to be more than what we see in this world right now. And that's part of the reason why I do what I do, and why I encourage people to put their hopes and their faith and their time and their efforts and their sacrifice and their obedience into something that is above, not in this. Because if it's all in this, we're going to be seriously unfulfilled, unsatisfied, and let down. I'm just saying that we weren't supposed to put ourselves in this world. This is not truly who we are. So I want to leave you with a few scriptures, as I always do, because I just feel like we want to make sure that we understand, where does God actually say that. So John 14:6, as Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. No one. If you do not have a personal relationship with Jesus, you do not have access to the Father, the creator of all living things. You don't have access. So it doesn't matter how many boats you have, or how many big houses you have, or how many parties you have, or whether your marriage looks great, or whether your kids are all successful and college graduates. It doesn't matter. You don't have the Father. And at the end of your life, that's what's more important, not how much stuff you were able to accomplish on this earth, or how much money is in your bank account. 2 John 1-9, everyone who goes on ahead and does not abide in the teachings of Christ does not have God. Whoever abides in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. Jesus said, if you have seen me, you've seen the Father. He was the model. We talked about that yesterday. Jesus was the model. He's the representation of who the Father is, who the person is that created you, the one that knows all, knows the blueprint for your life. He knows you deeply, intimately, more than you know yourself. That one. He said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. 1 John 2:15-17. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Here's another one that says that. If we love the world and our life in the world, then the Father is not in us. Now, I'm not saying that you can't love the Father and have great things. I think that would be the ultimate. But if you don't have the Father, it doesn't matter how many things you have. It goes on to say, for all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life is not from the Father, but it is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires. But whoever does the will of God abides forever. So I just want that to encourage you today. If you're going to take any encouragement at all, I want you to understand that even if you are walking through a very difficult thing, it is temporary. If God has chosen you to walk through a difficult life. Now, I don't believe God causes any difficulties in our life. I do believe that he will use them to help us. I do believe that he tests our faith too. Sometimes he has to know, can I trust this person? I think he already knows whether he can trust us, but I'm saying usually he's developing the character in us. And he wants to see, can I trust them? Can I trust them with wealth? Can I trust them with this child? Can I trust them with this marriage? Can I trust them with the assignment that I have for their life? And a lot of times the difficulties are what is actually training you for that assignment. It's training you to be able to do that. And I also believe that if you walk through difficulties, you're more equipped to be able to help somebody else that's walking through that. So family that just seems like everything, they got it all together and they're always having parties and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they're the ones that God would choose to help somebody else. Maybe. But again, it's not for us to really determine. It's none of our business. That's between them and God and their maker. So you worry about you, me worry about me, and then we just leave the rest of it to God. So you just have to look at the situation and know that God's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He knows what the plan is for our life. It is a good plan. I promise you it is a good plan. And even if it looks like one thing after another, God will restore everything that was lost. Now, I don't know if that's on this side of eternity or not. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to serve him because I know without him, I can't breathe. Without him, life is much harder than it is with him. So anyway, again, I hope this encourages you. I love you, and I can't wait for us to be back together again. So have an awesome day. Bye.